If I ever became president, the first mandate I would make is that no sandwich could cost over $10 because I saw a tweet about it and it's so true because why are some single sandwiches over $20? Like, I kid you not, I've been to so many restaurants and places where a grilled cheese is $11. In what world is a grilled cheese where it's literally just bread and cheese? How does that run me $11? And don't even get me started on like an actual sandwich that has like meat and toppings because that's at least $13 to like $19. And then plus you add on if you want to get a side or if you want to get a drink, it runs you like almost $30 for a meal at a restaurant, which should not be worth that much. And it's really with just like all food in general, especially like restaurant food, because it's gotten so expensive. And I'm tired of hearing, oh, dude, it's inflation. Oh, it's this. No, y'all are just greedy, all right? Corporations, you just care about money. Like, damn. Because you cannot justify to me how it is acceptable to make a meal with a sandwich, a side, and a drink $25. You just cannot tell me that's justifiable in any way. And if I somehow became in power, bro, that's the first thing I'm getting rid of, right? Because that really does piss me off. Especially if you go to like one of those like modern restaurants where like the sides itself are like $8, a sandwich is like $20, and the drink is like $5. You are running so much money out of just a worthless meal. That is not it. Oh my God, it makes me so mad.
Hello everyone, this is Emmanuel Cook. We will be reacting to a new video today, so make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's get into the video.
Y'all, this is the second time this week I have went out somewhere and a restaurant has charged me and either one person or me and two other people a gratuity. I thought gratuities was for parties of 4 or more to accommodate for the larger party. Because literally the first restaurant I went to, they said we charge this gratuity to offset rising costs for the restaurant. And I was like, what does that have to do with me? Like, I don't know. And then the second place, like, I don't know, we didn't see the gratuity till we got the receipt or whatever. And I'm just like the waiter was being weird and shit, like, not trying to didn't get a receipt at first, had to ask for the receipt. I'm just like, what is up with it? I don't know if I should just be like, I'm only eating out on special occasions, be on that type of vibe or what. But it's just like, eating out is becoming like this luxury. Like, I don't know. So what y'all thoughts on that?
You see, guys, I was the type of person, right, that when I go to restaurants, if I'm ordering soft drinks or water, I don't need to look at the price. Or so I thought, because I'm thinking it's a normal price. Do you know what I mean? I'm not at Benihana now. I'm not at Hakkasan. I'm not at the Last Supper. I'm not at the Queen's Coronation. Do you get it? But boy, I was wrong. Imagine I went to a normal everyday restaurant, yeah. I went to go and order water. Didn't bother looking at the price on the menu. I've got the water now. Luckily, I haven't opened it yet. I've looked at the menu. £5. £5 for water. I said, take that back. I'll drink from the tap. It's okay. It's never that serious. Another time I went to a regular restaurant, yeah. I got African Fanta. For one person, yeah. By the way, I didn't even bother looking at the bill to the end, didn't it? I thought nothing of it. It's Fanta. The bill comes, the Fanta is £8.22. £8.22 for an individual bottle of Fanta. I looked at it and I said, is there a delivery charge that I don't know about? Is there a tip in this Fanta? Or did you incorporate the service charge onto the Fanta? And then even the audacity to add a service charge on top of that. I said, mate, I paid the service charge already. It was in the Fanta. Ain't no way you're getting a dime out of me. Imagine £8.22 for a bottle of Fanta for an individual. What is so special? How did you make the Fanta? Did you smash the glass of the Fanta on the floor, then pick it up piece by piece, glue it together and pour the Fanta back in? If that's not what you did, then there's no way it should be £8.22.
I literally don't know why no one's talking about this, but at some point price gouging, especially for food, gets actually to a point where it's just disrespectful. And if there's one place that I feel so disrespected by this fucking morning, it is Wake and Late. So if you live in LA, you know that like the burrito's good. I'm not even gonna sit here and say that the burrito's not good, but you're also paying $20 for a burrito that's literally the size of a small hand. Like, I would say I have a pretty fucking small hand, right? Which is fine. The location in downtown is quite literally right next door to Skid Row, and you are charging $20 for a fucking burrito, then have the nerve to charge me $1 per sauce, which I feel you should get one for a $20 burrito. And then this burrito used to also be like $15. Then all of a sudden they got orange boxes and now it's $20. Then I was like, oh, let me try one of their new bagels this morning. Right? And I didn't have to pay for it. I know I didn't, but I was like, you know what, let's just like see, because I haven't tried the bagels. And you guys, okay, the bagels do look good, don't get me wrong. They charge $4 for the bagel, and then they make you do a minimum of 2 bagels. Why the hell do I need to buy 2 bagels? So you have to spend $8. Then they charge you $4 for the cream cheese. In what world am I needing to pay for cream cheese separate from the bagel? That should come with the bagel, let alone, I don't get egg in my burrito. There's nothing that's taken off of the burrito, and I just feel like, let me just show you how they served the fucking $40 bagels. Like, straight to the bag. Like, literally, I'm not kidding. These bagels didn't come in another box. They didn't come in a bag. They didn't come in shit. And this was like the most expensive bagel that I've probably eaten in my 27 years of fucking living. So then here's the real kicker. So the only reason why I've honestly continued to go there is because it's so conveniently located from my spot. But also on top of that, they would give the building that I live in a discount because we're like part of the community, whatever. Wasn't a high discount. It was like 10 to 15%, right? And I've been getting this discount since I've lived here, whatever. I go down there today and I'm like, oh, like this is what I'm going to order. And I was like, oh, like, by the way, I also live in the building. Last time I came, she was like, oh, like we need proof. Like we need to like see your home key, basically, like the app. So I showed her the app and I'm like, that's like kind of odd, whatever. Also 15% off a fucking $25 bagel. Like, get so serious, whatever. Anyways, I go down today and this is what really pushed me over the edge. I said, oh yeah, I live in the building over here, blah, blah, blah. I'm so sorry. Like we actually don't give that discount anymore. So you put your fucking restaurant on basically like, again, next door to fucking Skid Row. You don't want to give the community a fucking discount. And then you're charging $20 for a burrito, $4 for fucking spread. Then you're making me order a minimum of 2 bagels and 2 spreads. Now I'm like, they probably won't be seeing me again. And I don't think that they give a fuck because there's enough white people that come here and pay for the fucking $25 burrito. But like at some point, it's just like the principle of like, what the fuck is really going on? Also, I mean, it's the end of the video now, so I can't be like to preface, but I've like worked in hospitality. I understand, like I have no issue paying top dollar for a good meal, but I just think that at some point, it's also like, what am I paying for? The orange box? You put my fucking bagel straight into the paper bag that has no branding. Like, what are we talking about?
We need to talk about how out of control these restaurants are getting, okay? So one of the main things is that I have really had to do my due diligence of making sure that I check the bill before I put the tip down, because they don't even tell you if they already added tip onto the bill. Like at this point, like they will scam you for a 40% tip, period, right? Now, don't get me wrong. I am all about tipping. I worked in restaurants. Like I appreciate the service industry workers 1000%, but we just went out to dinner and we had charges also on our receipt to pay for the server's health insurance. Like I already pay almost $400 a month for my health insurance. Now, yes, if you're working, you absolutely should get insurance. But bro, like if you want to provide your workers health insurance, pay for their health insurance. Why are you nickel and diming me for it? Now, I own my own business, so I'm going to equate being a server to being an independent contractor, 1099. Your income is all over the place. So this is not my frustrations with the servers itself. They absolutely deserve to have the benefits of working 40 plus hours a week, because most of them do, okay? My frustrations here are with these cheap ass restaurant owners, because not only do American restaurant owners have us out here paying their employees to be working 9-10 hour shifts, tipping, hoping to God that every table tips 20%. Let's not even get into the number of people who don't think that tipping is necessary. But on top of that, you want us to pay for their insurance. You want to look like you're doing your due diligence and being a big guy by giving them health insurance. Bro, what? Now, the number one fucking scam in the United States in general is health insurance. The number 2 scam now is these motherfucking restaurants. And then they got the nerve to serve us mediocre ass food on top of it. You guys are out here charging these crazy amounts for this food. A skirt steak for steak frites, they were charging $48 for. You guys are charging this amount of money for food and you can't even put some of that towards your workers. I have to pay for that? Nah, bro. I'm eating at home all 2024.
Gratuity at
So
restaurants.
today we're going to talk about gratuity at restaurants, right? So, y'all, I'm a server at a restaurant. I won't let y'all know what restaurant it is, but I'm a server at a restaurant, whatever, and we have gratuity or whatever, right, y'all? We have 18%. So some people come in the restaurant and feel like, they gonna tip better than the 18%. So why do we have gratuity? We have gratuity in place because we have to be guaranteed that we get our money at the end of the day, because we are coming to give y'all a service and we got bills too, you feel me? So if you as the guest, you know, feel like you came and spent your money on the food and you feel like you don't have to tip your server, you're wrong, you feel me? Because at the end of the day, that server has to go home and pay their bills. So you feel like that gratuity is all of theirs, but it's like that gratuity they have to split between paying the host and the bartender, and it's like more of a service fee, you feel me? So at the end of the day, it's best to give your, you know, your server cash or your bartender cash, because they have to tip out somebody at the end of the night, you feel me? I don't think it's right for you to feel like you can sit at a table for 35 minutes to an hour or two and not feel like that you should tip your server their worth, you feel me? Now, if they were wrong and they didn't tip you, of course, give them $0. But if they gave you amazing service, I feel like you should tip your server.
Breakfast and brunch prices are getting out of hand for the service that you get. I just had really shitty brunch with really shitty service. My credentials for this opinion is that I worked in the service industry for 7 years as a waitress. My partner and I went out to brunch at this place that I had been to once before in the past, and I really liked it, so I had good expectations, high hopes. The kind of place where you're paying like $11 for eggs and toast and potatoes. So we sit down, everything's gonna be fine, and we order coffee. I got an espresso, he got a drip, and when I tell you this drip was just water, it was just water. I don't send back food. Even if I don't like it, I eat it, which I know is problematic too. But I had to send back this coffee. It was horrible. Granted, I've had bad diner coffee before. It's like part of the niche. But this wasn't a diner. It's a fancier place. They sell their own bagged coffee and have their own roasters. So you expect the coffee to be decent here. So I tell our server, like, hey man, could we get a different coffee? Like, this is just water. And that's kind of where everything went downhill. We order, we get our food, and I notice, oh shoot, I don't have a fork. I flag down the food runner because we haven't seen our waiter at all. I say, hey, could I get a fork? And then I don't see her for 5 minutes. And I get it. I mean, I've forgotten things before. This isn't on her. So after 5 minutes of waiting for a fork, and we still haven't seen our waiter, I flag down a different waiter who's got his hands full of dirty dishes, and I'm like, hey man, can I get a fork? And he's like, yes. Within 30 seconds, I have a fork in my hand. But by this time, it's been like 6 minutes, which for breakfast food is an eternity, so it's already cold. And our server walks by just like really briefly, everything good, and leaves, and he just like wasn't interested in serving us anymore. Mind you, our server never comes out and refills our coffee at all. Granted, this isn't the most dramatic service story, but it wasn't even like bare minimum. And when breakfast foods are getting close to like $40 for 2 people, I expect at least the bare minimum. And the conversation around tipping culture is a whole other thing. But when we go to pay, the tipping options are 20, 25, and 35. And so then you have to go through the like embarrassment of hitting other and then writing in your own tip, because we weren't gonna tip 20%. It wasn't 20% service. Anyway, it was just very disappointing. And for what?
Homeboy hit me up, told me he wanted to go get some barbecue. I said, okay, so whose house we going to? Now, I'm country, so I thought we would just go to his house or somebody else's house. We can just have a barbecue. He said, no, you want to go to the restaurant. I said, okay, cool. Which one? He said, well, we're thinking maybe City Barbecue. So I said, what city are they representing? So it can't just be City Barbecue. That don't make any sense. And it don't even sound appealing. I mean, unless it's like Kansas City Barbecue, but that's not what it was when we looked at the website. Don't say. Now, the place he took me, I should have known it was going to be trash. Because it had 2 animal names in there, so you know it's gonna be expensive. Like if they got like a bird fox or something dumb, like 2 animals don't even go together. Bro, when we got the menus, they ain't even had the prices on them. Now, here's the thing, I've been poor a long time, so I ain't scared to ask. Ain't no shame in my game. I said, how much are the ribs? Gang told me $55. Where are these ribs coming from? Are they coming from a unicorn? Because it better be coming from a unicorn that I get to pick out and then kill and then drink the rainbow blood, right, with the little sparkles in it. Who's making this price? Is your 24-year-old head chef Kyle, who just got knuckle tats so he think he's seen? So he ain't seen nothing. His name is Kyle. His parents didn't even season his name. Better go get me a rate letter. Somebody with some misses. He got all his teeth. Ain't no way he gonna make the barbecue sauce. I don't trust him. He ain't seen nothing. $20, $55 reels.
A quick reminder, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's continue the video.
Hey y'all, I got a question. Let me know if what I'm saying is wrong, you know, because I obviously I'm not in the restaurant business. I'm not aware of like everything, so just let me know if I'm wrong. So I went to like a restaurant, like lounge little thing or whatever, to order me some food. I ordered a hookah and I ordered a drink. I sat at the bar. I ordered some salmon bites that I ate there or whatever. Like I said, I ordered a drink, sat there at the bar, drank my drink, and then I was waiting on my food or whatever to go or whatever. So anyway, I got the bill. The bill came, the bill was $72, right? They added on a gratuity charge. The gratuity was $19, and then the tax was $9, right? So that's already like $29, right? That's just for the gratuity and for the tax. So it brought my bill up to like 96 or whatever. Okay? So when I got the ticket, I was looking at it, I was like, gratuity? Why the fuck do I have a gratuity and a tax up here, right? So I asked the manager, I said, hey, what is this about? Why am I charged a gratuity of like $19 and a tax for $9? And she was like, oh, well, it's because, you know, you ate at the bar, you know, you got food to go, so we charge a fee of that, right? And I said, just for me sitting at the bar? And I was like, cause I ordered food to go. And I was like, but I sat here and ate my food or whatever. So I'm not really understanding the extra charges. Can you better explain it to me? She was like, yeah, I mean, I understand, you know, but because your food was so high, that's the reason why your gratuity is that much. So I said, but I'm a single person. I was literally just by myself, right? So I wasn't a part of a party. It was literally just me. I sat at the bar the entire time, literally for like an hour. So I said, I'm not really understanding that. Normally a gratuity, I'm thinking like when I'm normally charged a gratuity is if I'm with like a party of at least, you know, 4, 5, 6, you know, multiple people. I said, but I'm just by myself, so I'm not really understanding still why y'all charge me a gratuity. I said, I'm gonna tip, you know what I'm saying? But I just feel like that's just too much. That's like an extra $29. Like for what? I'm really just not understanding. And she was like, okay, well, we can, I can take it off. I can remove it if you want me to. And I'm like, well, yeah, that would be great. I said, cause I mean, I do understand the taxes. If y'all have a carryout fee, I get that, but y'all, it says gratuity, and normally, you know, the gratuity is like $20. So I'm just really not understanding why I have to pay y'all an extra $29, you know what I'm saying, for food when my food was initially $70. So yeah, I'm really just not understanding. And it was, you know, a black establishment. So I just feel like it's always like black establishments that be trying to like get over. I mean, because I have been many places. I'm not new to eating out and different stuff like that. And normally I'm only charged a gratuity if I'm with a party more of like 4 or 5 individuals. I mean, I get it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like, she was just like, yeah, you're sitting at the bar and, you know, you ordered food to go. And then I'm like, but I ate my food here, you know? So I really just don't understand. And the manager was kind of like pissy. He was mad because like I asked them to take it off. I mean, I could have paid it, but it's just like, yo, I'm tipping you already, you know, and I'm just not understanding. I'm sitting here and y'all going to charge me an extra $29 and I'm still expected to tip. That just really just don't make sense to me. So can somebody make it make sense? I'm confused. Do they really do that?
Yani again, with the Arab restaurants in the area, in our Chicagoland area, yani the prices, I normally don't complain. Just walk away. If I got a problem, just walk away from it. But right now, today's Friday, I went and grabbed some 12 pieces of falafel. I sent my kid to grab them. This is $12. Yani, I don't care whatever you're gonna tell me about cost and whatever you're gonna tell me about rent, employees and all that. This is $12. Dozen falafel, $12 with a little bit of mkhallal. Yani they ask a little bit of mkhallal with it, so they charge them $12. Yani this is getting ridiculous. Yani dozen falafel is not specialty item that will say, oh, you know what, they have special required dozen falafel. Yani the habbe is not enough for my both fingers. That's how small it is. Yani that's if exceeds $6 for dozen falafel, this is too much. They charging $8 and that's fine with me. This is your product, if that's what, but $12, yani they push the freaking limit. Yani the Arab restaurants around the area, they need to check out their prices. Seriously, right now I'm pissed. Yani if something specialty item, I understand. Something required different. I understand. What's the difference between your falafel and the other dude's falafel? The, oh, well, it tastes better. I understand. But it's not to the point where you charge $12 for a dozen falafel. And because they ask you for a piece of shatta. And few مخلل. يعني come on, this is ridiculous prices. They need to check out their prices and a little bit slow down on those prices because people can go back to hot dog again.
Man, it is true that these restaurant prices are actually insane. I was at a restaurant about 2 months ago or so, and I paid about $160 for 4 people. It was a seafood spot, but $160 for 4 people. Like, that is actually insane. $160 just for 4 people. Like, it's not right. It's seriously not right. Why are we paying all this money just for food? Why are we doing this? Stop upcharging us for all of these things. $160 for 4 people. Are you serious?
I just went to lunch in Franklin, Tennessee, and I spent $17 on a Caesar salad that wasn't that big, and an additional $7 to add half of a grilled chicken breast to it. I'm so sick of these restaurant prices. There's another place I saw in East Nashville that's selling sandwiches for $17, and they're not like fancy. They don't come with anything. It's literally just the sandwich. Like, I don't know if it's just the Nashville thing or what, but the prices here are insane. It's crazy. And I understand inflation, it affects everything, but it freaking sucks and I'm over it. And the best part about that restaurant that I just ate at was they had the like tip thing at the bottom where they calculate the tip for you. It was wrong by like $1.50 for 18%, and it went up from there. Like, these people are scamming us, and then they're scamming us even more. Like, it's crazy.
2 mac and cheeses and 2 burgers and 2 beers, $100.
It really is insane what it costs now to go to a restaurant, and it's really crazy how restaurants just are not busy like they used to be. I know her video was primarily talking about price of childcare, which is crazy, and that's all good, but I want to talk specifically about restaurants. So we had some gift cards that we got for Christmas to places like Chili's, Cheesecake Factory, places that are pretty good. We don't always, get to go there. Usually if we go out to eat, it's more something like Culver's or Freddy's, something like that. And of course, Chili's and Cheesecake Factory is not exactly fine dining, but it's still good food. But it's not like, going to it, some fancy steakhouse, something like that. So number one, thankful we had the gift cards because it allowed us to go. Now we still got to pay a, decent amount of money, but the gift card takes a lot of that hit away. But what shocked me is just thinking about things, like 5-10 years ago, right? When you would go to these same restaurants. And I think it's hard to use the pandemic anymore as an excuse because we're so far away from it now. We've been so recovered to, whatever normal is now. So let me start with Chili's. It was good. It was real good. It actually surprised me how good it was and how good the service was. And, but it still ended up being probably like $80-$90. Now we had a gift card to help with that. So that was great. But it just shocked me that on a Friday night at like 7 o'clock, half the restaurant is closed and the other half that's open is like, half full at best. Again, 5 years ago, it would be packed on a Friday night. Last night, we go to Cheesecake Factory. Again, it was actually really good food, really good service. But it was just like that lady said. It was $100. We almost had the same thing. Kids chicken tenders, kids burgers. Me and my wife each had a burger. She had a drink. And we got, cheesecake for dessert, and it was $100. Like, that's a lot. That's just a lot. But again, what struck me, now Cheesecake Factory is of course a lot busier than Chili's, but at about 6:45, we walked in, no wait. I literally remember like 5, 6, 7 years ago, like when we would go out more like with my mother-in-law and my wife's sisters, that it would be like we wouldn't go to that place because we wouldn't go to Cheesecake Factory because we knew it would be like a 2-hour wait, on a Friday night. And again, this is like prime time Friday night, the restaurant isn't full. Like it's pretty busy, but there's no wait. Like, it's crazy to me how things have changed. That it's just, I don't know. It's like people just don't want to go out anywhere anymore. And I think that a lot of has changed probably since the pandemic, that I don't know. I get the sense that people just don't want to go out anymore. People can't afford stuff anymore. And it's just pretty crazy. So I don't know. I want to get your thoughts on that. I know for us, we like going out to those places, but yeah, it is pretty expensive, which is why it's kind of more of a special occasion, or like when we have a gift card that makes it so we can afford to go. But it's just, yeah, I'm just still really like fumbling with that, like thinking in my mind how all these places used to be so busy, and there's, more people now than there was then. The population just keeps growing and growing and growing, but like, and there's more businesses and things, but there's just like less people going out. So I don't know. It's just weird. What do you think?
Something that I've just never understood about customers in the service industry is when you get a ticket with gratuity, they'll look at it and be like, oh, take off the gratuity, I'm going to tip you more. Okay, if you're really going to tip me more, you wouldn't be saying that. You would just add it on the receipt because there's a space to put more tip. Or you would give me cash. What's the difference, bro? Don't ever believe those people, because I've literally taken off gratuity for somebody before and they just tipped me less. I've had a friend do that for a customer before, and I told her not to take it off. I was like, no, don't listen to them. And she gave her nothing. Don't ever believe those people, y'all. They're liars. They're just playing with you.
I think we can all agree that eating at a restaurant has become like ridiculously priced in the past few years. We cook at home most of the times, but we like to go out like once or twice a week. And I honestly feel like me and my husband, cannot go out to lunch or dinner without spending $50+ and we don't even drink. A couple months ago now, me and my husband kind of just looked at each other after going to and moderately priced restaurant and being like, that was not worth it. And we kind of just decided then and there that we were either going to go the fast casual chain restaurant route or go to a really nice restaurant where we knew that we were going to get a great meal and it'd be worth what we were paying for. This has kind of helped with that balance of sometimes we don't want to cook, sometimes we want a great experience. But we weren't getting that value out of going to the mediocre restaurant and it being worth our money. So if you kind of feel like how we do, I don't know, this might be something to help your budget or just kind of help your sanity in these times where you can't get a reasonably priced meal at a restaurant.
I don't know if it's just me, but if you go to a restaurant and they got that little green grass on the wall with the neon sign in the background, just go ahead and walk out because you finna get finessed. The drinks ain't gonna be drinking. I'm gonna tell you that right now. They gonna try to charge you $15 for what appears to be a shot. You take the ice up out that motherfucker. It's really less than a shot. You just gonna be sipping on pure deal alcohol with mostly juice. That's it. I ain't no picky ass person, but I understand. But advertisement is every damn thing. If I go on your page and I see your wings and your certain dishes look a certain type of way, that's what I expect when I get there. I expect my wings to look just like the picture. I expect my motherfucking chops to be chopping, my wings to be winging, and my fries to be crispy, goddammit. What the fuck is we doing? Why are we here? I shouldn't have to remind you of your own advertisements. If I go in Tuesday, $2 Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, shots $2, this, that, and the third, I shouldn't have to tell you and remind you of what day of the week it is. Oh my God, you want the Tuesday special? Yes, I don't want the Thursday special on Tuesday. What, damn. Oh, I didn't know nothing about it. Call the manager. I'm not even no call the manager type of guy. Call the manager. I need the owner. I fuck that. I'm taking screenshots and all. Boop, that's right. That's next Thursday. That's next Tuesday. I'm gonna pay that price today. I don't care what start next week. I had the assumption that it starts today. You need to put that in the fine print. Start the next Tuesday. Whatever. I don't care. You put it up on Tuesday. I want Tuesday's prices. Today's price is not yesterday's price.
Can we just talk about tipping for a second? Because I fear we might have taken this too far in some cases, like the experience that I had today. And before you come for me, I always tip at least 20%. I tip 20% if I've just had a normal experience. I try to tip more if I've had a really good experience. However, so I always tip. I'm here for the tipping. But this shit that happened today, I was like, so Rafa and I went out to eat at this restaurant in Austin, and you walk in, nobody greets you. There's just a sign that says, seat yourself. So we're like, okay. So we seat ourselves, and when you sit down, there's a QR code that says, scan the QR code, order online. Not my favorite way to dine. I don't love the QR code situation because you're like, but fine, I'm fine with it. I'm not going to complain about it. I swear it's always the restaurants that have the QR codes and the order online situation that don't have a single bar of service in the building and you're just sitting there waiting for it to load for 15 minutes. Anyways, alas, we pick what we want. We place our order. We haven't interacted with a single human being in this restaurant yet, but as we're placing our order for our $20 salad, it's like, would you like to leave a tip? And there's 3 options, 20%, 25%, and 30%. And I'm like, girl, I haven't interacted with a single person in here. There's been negative service. I have been the service. Like I've been like doing everything myself. And then it's like tip 30%. On a $20 salad that's already ridiculously overpriced for lettuce. I'm like, you want 30%? Keep in mind too, there's like a little station that's like, serve yourself water. Like you do not interact with a human being except for after you've placed your order and left your 20 or 30% tip. Someone walks out with a tray 10 feet from the kitchen and goes, salad, and sets it down on your table and then walks away. And then you're like, yay. And then you eat it and then you bust your own table. I'm like, isn't the whole purpose of tipping to be when you've had, to show gratuity when you've had a really good experience or really good service? Isn't that the whole point of tipping? I'm like, I swear it's like, and it's especially in Austin, it's like these restaurants I go to, it's like you seat yourself, you order yourself, you bust yourself, you get your own water. And then it's like, tip us 30%. I'm like, are you out of your damn mind? Shook me. I was like, I haven't even looked at a human being in the eye since I've sat down here. And you're like, do you want to tip me 28%? I don't know. I'm all for tipping, but what the fuck?
Coffee shops have lost their fucking mind. I have been a regular coffee drinker for 25 years at this point. And my drink of choice is an Americano with a little bit of steamed oat milk. But today, I got a friend of mine a 12-ounce caramel latte with oat milk, and it was $7. And they charged $1.20 for the oat milk. Like, I buy oat milk for my house. It's $4.89 for a fucking gallon. And they're doing $1.20 a cup? That's not it. That's not it. Can't justify that.
Can someone explain to me how restaurant owners are always like, oh, the restaurant business is not that profitable. There's so many expenses. Like restaurants are, they don't make a lot of money. But like besides food costs, which your customers pay for, and they pay quite a higher fee for than what you're buying it at, and the rent for the restaurant, which I totally understand is costly, not actually paying the servers like a real wage because servers rely on tips, which means that restaurants and restaurant owners don't actually have to pay them like a real wage because they're like, oh, well, you'll make tips. The customer will pay you along with the food, which I thought is always interesting because instead of paying a server a livable wage, they literally have to rely on the customer and what the customer can afford and how the customer feels that day. And that's how they make a living wage. That's how they get to eat and pay rent and whatever else, living expenses. So when the restaurant owners say, oh, restaurants aren't profitable, it's so hard to run a restaurant. But how are they not profitable if the customer is paying for their own food, which covers the food cost and rent and whatever else, and also for labor, as in the server?
I appreciate you guys watching the video today. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.